Hey, Mar.
Andrew!
What's going on? You get divorced again, I heard?
Yeah, I did.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do.
All right, ready?
Here you go.
Welcome.
To
The
Happy
Never
After.
Pod.
Podcast is one word.
I know, but that's why it's funny.
Oh, welcome to the Happy Never After podcast. You look so good as a boxer. You look really...
Come on, put him up.
Is that how you lost your teeth?
No, that was, I think, Fruit Loops.
Oh.
I ate a lot of Fruit Loops. I lost my 2 back teeth, and I think a third one's coming out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can feel it coming out. It's cracked in the back here. Oh, I'm Andrew, by the way.
I know, and I'm Mara.
And on the 1s and 2s is some fat European tourist.
DJ Rainbow Bright.
It's a shame people can't see how terrible you
I
look.
put it on my Instagram story. Maybe I'll put it on the regular.
And
page.
Marshall Grumps.
DJ Grupp is his Instagram
That's
handle.
right.
How you doing?
I was good until I saw Marshall.
Me too.
Me too?
Yeah. Seeing you.
Good one. Got me. Son of a bitch. Did you cut your hair?
No.
Oh, you should.
You getting rid of your beard?
No.
It is a little bit too long.
Is it?
A little bit.
I don't
like a
have hot
magic.
water
You
right
just don't
now.
want to get fucked. That's your
No, I
problem.
don't have hot water in my apartment.
You don't have hot water?
Why?
No.
That's illegal.
I know, and we've called them out. Apparently, they fixed it today, but for 3 days, I haven't showered.
Are you fucking
Did you
kidding
use
me?
your happy tushy?
I did use my happy tissue bidet.
I used mine this morning.
We
I
actually-
didn't shower yesterday. I had hot water.
Yeah.
And I rode 41 miles and I still didn't shower. And I just sat down and used the bidet and I was like,
Good to go.
What the fuck's the matter with
I mean,
both
most
you?
of your dirt comes from your pussy. Let's be honest. The rest of your
Just a lot
body's
of gravel down there.
fine. Yeah. So did you just bidet your asshole and a little bit of the puss, and you thought you were good to go?
Yeah, you just gotta lean forward a little.
I just laid on it like that. I just laid on the toilet there.
I believe I can fly.
I believe my tushy can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Clean my pussy and fly away. I
Make
believe
sure
all
you
my
hit the back
sores.
door.
My back door. Get rid of all my open sores. I believe I can fly. I can fly. We should get a choir in here, you know?
I'll get you quiet.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like, it's been 3 days. It's crazy. But I don't know. I kind of like the smudge.
There was an article in Glamour magazine about
Not showering?
Two of the editors didn't shower for a full month.
And how do they feel?
No soap, no nothing. It took about maybe it was 2 months. It took a month for it to they got a little rough for a month, and then it started to turn around. Their skin cleared up. Their hair looked great. They had.
We shower too much. We use too much soap.
I don't, but we.
Yeah.
Royal we.
Yeah.
I rarely hit that water.
They tell you not to shampoo your hair as much.
I know I do it every 8 days.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I-
feel like I'm a dirty boy. But, you know, I was pooping a lot, too, recently because of the drugs.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know. I was losing so much weight. I started taking the antidepressant drug.
Uh-huh.
What is it
and
called? What is it for?
Lexapro.
Oh,
it's for
yes.
anti-anxiety and anti-depression. Marshall apparently doesn't like when we talk about depression. He thinks it's weak.
Yeah, basically.
Thanks. So for all you mental health people out there, Marshall has no empathy for you. Right, Marshall?
You had to fight through it, baby.
Yeah, you just got to toughen up, right?
Yeah.
Be a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll not be a man. You'll never be a man. You're like a fucking little bitch, man.
Yeah, I'm a little bitch, dude. I will whoop your ass and then cry. You little bitch.
Okay, continue.
While I hit him, I'll be like, I'm so depressed.
Okay, so
fucking
you-
old bitch.
Can we take a time out on this fight? I have to have diarrhea.
No, so I started taking it 2 weeks ago, and then my stomach started to really hurt, and then I
saw it. I was a
diarrhea
witness.
like every meal, like 50. It was a side effect, and I was losing my mind. But hey, no anxiety, just shitting and feeling cool.
That's,
Are you still taking it?
So I stopped yesterday.
do you feel better?
I do. I don't know if the drug is still in me. We'll find out tomorrow. I think.
72 hours it takes to get out of your system.
Oh, so it's still in me.
Yep.
But my stomach feels a lot better. I took a nice solid poop today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Did it float? Was it light in color?
It was no, it was pitch black with blood. Is that good?
What's the weirdest place you had to stop to shit over the last few days?
Oh, dude,
My
I've been
house?
running everywhere. New York's tough too. I don't know. I went into a couple bars, but nothing too weird. But like it was bad. Like anytime I ate, it sucks because because the drug doesn't kick in for like a month. And then
Also, it really affects your time. Like, we did Canadian Thanksgiving on Sunday, and then it was like a little bit time to go, but it was kind of casual. And he's like, let's go. He basically just had to shit at my apartment.
well, that and I had that shit in the car too. And my problem is I had the bad asshole, which we all know about. And I don't want depression over an anal fissure again. I'd much rather have depression over real life. I'd choose life over asshole any day of the week. Because asshole is, I could handle shit with life, Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. Anyone that deals with the side effects with these drugs, I'm sure it's hard, especially at
Well, maybe
first.
you're allergic.
Yeah.
Like, really allergic.
And then I wrote my psychiatrist, and she's like, I'm going to call you at 8 p.m. And I was like losing it. I was like, I need to stop, but I don't want to stop because of withdrawal and all that. And then she's like, I'm going to call you at 8. And then she never called me.
Oh, my God.
I was like, that's good. That's a good therapist. And then I emailed her at 9. I go, did I miss your call?
Oh, my.
Like a fucking
Like, very
creepy ex-girlfriend.
passive-aggressive.
Did you
Did
call
you?
me? I was in the shower. Actually, I wasn't.
I was just sitting by my phone.
I was on my
with it
bidet.
all the way loud.
Yeah. I felt it vibrate. And then she wrote me, and then I wrote her back. I go, should I stop doing the medicine? And then she didn't write back.
Oh, my God.
So
she's
she
the
left me a
worst.
cliffhanger. Yeah, it was really weird, man. I guess like she figured she won't keep making money off me because I'm going to quit doing it. But so she's like, why don't you try Zoloft? And I was like, why don't I try regular therapy first?
Good. I like it.
Because what I did is on a Monday I did a psychologist, and then on a Thursday I did a psychiatrist, and then on Friday I was doing drugs.
Right.
That's probably a little quick.
Yeah, too much.
So now I've done my psychologist 4 times, and I feel good. I feel like I've talked some shit out. And now I met with an accountant because I met with the psychologist, and I feel confident enough. And then I just met with the accountant, and I feel so much.
Nicholas, like our accountant.
Yeah, our accountant Nick.
He has been divorced 4 times.
Has he really?
Yes, yeah. He's badass. I love him. I love him so much.
Maybe he shouldn't be. Man, now I feel terrible. Actually, I guess if you've been divorced and you still have money 4 times, you still have money, you're probably pretty good at your job.
I think he has a problem because he works from 11 in the morning until 3 in the morning every day, all year. I think he definitely has
Really? He told me he was in the office from 3 to 7.
No, he's there all the time.
He did this all like for free. And I don't know. I just feel way more calm about my debt because debt can be a killer.
It can. It can really weigh you down. It can kill your marriage as
Kill
well.
your marriage. It can kill. Like I was so depressed from debt back in the day, and I think I just I avoided it. And like you can't avoid things. That's what I've learned. You can't avoid them.
Duh.
You still
Oh,
try,
stop
though.
it! You should avoid those shoes. That's what you should do. Fucking disgusting. Man. It's like, you love the attention, though. You
No.
love the attention.
I have no interest in you hearing you talk about my fucking
Then why do you
shoes.
wear those socks that cut off your? You don't even have blood going to your feet.
What I do? What are you talking about? These are cool socks. Blacksocks.com. Shut up.
What's it called?
Blacksocks.com.
Oh, it's like ironic because they're all colorful.
They can be just black also.
So what's going on with you? That's a cool new jacket.
Thanks. It's not new. I just haven't been able to wear it because it's been hot.
Oh.
I also had a medical situation.
What?
I know. Well, I went in for my last appointment for my kidney to see if I could drink again and do heavy drugs, and they were like, oh, they looked at my hands, and because I was like, hey, I think this sunburn. I think we Instagrammed it too. I was like, I have a weird sunburn on my hand.
Yeah, you look like an old reptile.
Yeah, turns out I was melting on the inside. The drugs that they gave me, I was allergic to.
Jesus.
We're falling apart, man.
We are. It's so funny. I could do cocaine for like 12 years. No problem. Give me one antibiotic and I am toast.
Because our bodies aren't good with things that help us. Like
now I'm
vitamins.
on-
Like we don't take in like healthy things or like things that are good for us.
Now I'm on prednisone
Yeah.
to get over it.
And that's a steroid?
It's a steroid, but
I could see your tits are harder.
yo,
Yeah. Hell yeah. Look at you. Look at those
I'm
hard.
yoked.
I'm
swole.
fucking choked, bro. Fucking swole.
lift some shit, son.
You do fucking power cleans all day, son.
You're gonna chalk it up.
Chalk it up.
Chalk it up.
I got you. I spot you. What do you want to do? Deadlift? What are you doing? 4 for 15?
Just cleans and presses.
Clean and jerk. I'm a fucking badass, bro. You got your delts? Where your delts?
What time is it? Swole
Game time. And swole.
What is it?
Swole game time. Swole game. Hell yeah, bro. All day.
All day.
All day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Everything day.
That's the problem with those guys at the gym is they get so fucking pumped.
Bro. I gotta go.
All day.
So
45
fucking mad at my
45
little
minutes.
dick. I got such a little dick, bro. I gotta get 9
45
more.
minutes they set up one piece of equipment.
I still live in my mother's fucking basement, bro. Let's get 3 more.
Yes!
Oh, bro.
I got 2 today. I got 2.
I got all this fucking back hair. I'm so fucking angry, bro. I'm fucking mad at my fucking dad, bro. He didn't fucking help me that much, bro. I'm so sad.
I'm so sad.
By the last one.
That's why they use chalk so no one can see them crying.
Yeah, they
Like
chalk
all
up the tears. I'm not crying. That's chalk. Yeah, bro. My fucking nipples are hard. My testicles are up in my fucking dick, bro.
My nipples may be my testicles. I don't know.
My nesticles. My fucking nesticles, bro. The fucking jack, bro. My God, I miss my fucking dog. I miss my fucking little dog.
Scrappy!
Scrappy, where did you go? Get 3 more.
Scrappy!
God damn it. Oh, I just want to curl weights and I just want to cry in my mother's arms. I'm just sad.
Yeah, it's actually how this really is affecting me. I take it in the morning. I cut down my own dosage by myself. I didn't text anybody. I just did it because I take it and then I was like, I am pumped.
Yeah.
But I also really want to cry.
Yeah.
So I'd be like the happiest, but then also crying.
Yeah.
It just
You look like the Joker,
yeah,
kind
it
of.
was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, that was a little nutsos. It's not getting better either.
Yeah, your hands look worse.
They're not good.
Well, you
They
gotta
don't
stop doing
feel
power
good.
clean.
I can't. It's emotionally. It's not helping.
Yeah, they're pretty red.
Yeah, and this is just my hands. It's all over my body.
Is it?
Yep.
Well,
Sexy.
at least you're balanced. You know, you got bruises too. That's good.
I know. I stopped mugging.
Yeah.
What?
No.
You already talked about it.
No,
No.
we didn't talk about that. Should we talk about it?
We should probably talk about it on the next one.
Yeah, on the next one. Yeah.
I think-
And our next client. we should cut that out part.
We're not cutting out the part.
We're not.
No,
cutting
where we
anything
say we
out.
should talk about it on the next one. Okay, we'll talk about it on the next one.
We will talk about it on the next one.
Let's do it on the next one.
Wait, when should we do it?
2 more from now. Yeah, I mean it's got to be tough dealing with because like you're trying to get healthy, you're doing all the right things.
I'm not drinking. I really want to drink. Mm-hmm. But
I don't miss drinking at all.
I don't miss drinking. I do miss having fun.
Yeah, but you could be fun in other ways.
I just don't. I feel like everybody
You just
want to
go dancing sometimes.
I want to go dancing a lot, but everybody else that
Hey!
Hey! You know who else wants to go dancing? Mike Fenney.
Hi.
I was so
Hi.
worried that I was going in the wrong door for a
Yeah.
second because it's like do not enter.
This
whatever
is the
you do.
wrong door. Who are you? Why are you here?
guys.
Mike Fenney from Irish Goodbye podcast.
Yeah.
And
And the roast battle.
Oh, yeah, I
and
was
he's
like-
a funny comedian.
Yes.
And, and his parents are divorced.
What
so-
else do you like about me? Tell me.
Those
not
are all.
much. That's
those-
it.
Yeah, we
all
didn't
we
say
got.
you're good at any of those.
Yeah.
We love you here.
Yes, we do.
Can I make this slightly lower? Is that
Yeah.
possible?
Is it my lisp?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the last one. Oh wow!
It's
look
what-
at you.
yeah,
You
look
know
at-
everything.
There you
I got
go.
a podcast. I know how this works. All right.
Oh, do you do things manually over there? You have to
yeah.
do them yourself.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah, we're not in a beautiful building. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Put this up. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, you're your own podcast, huh? You don't even know.
Hey. All right.
Don't worry about the camera. Don't, just smile.
Just keep playing to it. You know,
Yeah,
don't even look
just
at you.
cheat
Just
to it.
yeah.
Just-
We're doing a lot of winks throughout this podcast. So hope that picks
You
up.
got a
on the
good
audio.
wink?
I think I got a pretty
Let's see.
good.
That is
Oh, that
really.
is a
Do you
good-
have to-
I gotta add the sound.
don't try without that.
Doesn't look good. It's not good,
I
right?
felt like you did it in your mouth, like you held it in.
we can't wink. Do your wink.
You know what was that? You just gotta sync it up. You know.
I can.
Yeah. That's surprisingly better.
Mine's more just like both my eyes blinking.
Let's see what
Just-
you got.
I just
No,
can't.
come on,
I
try it
just-
for real.
I just can't.
You really can't wink
Pretend
at
like
all.
you're doing an eye test and you're staring and you
I
gotta
can't
read.
shut one and not the other.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you move your ears, even though we have earphones?
I can't do the alfalfa wiggle thing.
It was weird because I felt like I was very athletic as a kid, but like the kid that was like just horrible at sports could move his ears, and I was like, how does he connect to his ears?
Yeah.
Like he can't move his hands. How's he moving his ears?
You seem like you could do a peck thing.
I could
though.
do a peck thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't do that either. I don't know how to.
Did you play sports?
I did. I was doing like. I mean, once I got older, I pretty much started just doing like track and field and stuff. But I played baseball and all that.
What did you
Where'd
do
you
in
grow up?
Long Island.
Oh, here.
Strong Island?
Yeah, I hate that so much.
Why? Because people say Strong Island.
Yeah, but I don't-
because your accent's not that.
I've actually never heard. Yeah, and also people tell me my accent's very thick, but I don't know. I don't hear it.
I don't hear it at all.
It's
I
certain
hear it.
words. It's
Now
like
I
when I
hear
say like coffee or like a draw. Like I can't say like drawer. Like however.
Well,
it's
nobody
Drawer?
says
No one
drawer.
says it.
Yeah, that's right. No one says it the wrong way like that.
I don't say draw raw.
Yeah.
You know, like those people. The right way. Draw raw.
Drawer.
Drawer.
So let's get into you. You're
Sure.
married.
I am. Yeah.
Why?
Just celebrated 2 years of marriage.
Oh, congratulations.
Wow.
Been dating for a total of 12 now, pretty much.
Wow.
We pretty much met
Holy shit.
in college, and then that was it. That was
When
the
you were
end.
freshman year, how did you meet her?
I was actually, I think it was like we kind of like met earlier in my freshman year. she was a sophomore. So yeah, see, it's just anytime anyone hears that on the podcast, that's just us winking and clicking at each other. He's not a fan of that. You got a good eye roll. You should come up with a sound effect for that.
Yeah, like
I had that fucking hairdo when I was 12 years old.
Exasperated sigh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What? Oh, you're saying that he looks like a little boy?
he does look like a little boy. It's
He looks like a little Aryan, charming
It's like
boy.
1957.
I
Yeah.
put my hair up against anybody in this room, but
I don't know. When he lays it down, lay it out.
What?
So how did you? So you're a freshman. She was a sophomore.
yeah, we
where did you go to
actually
school?
New Rochelle, Iona College.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was working
Is that a shitty school?
It was so good. The football program got canceled. The kids that I knew that went there for scholarships got them like taken. They were like, yeah, there's no thing anymore.
Did you live at home when you went to school?
No, it's like too far away because I'm from Long Island, so it's like
How
way
bad
too far.
is it? What was your SAT?
My SAT, I don't know what I got. I think maybe like I wasn't very good at SATs. Maybe like 1100 or something like that.
You're dumb.
I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
really.
take
No,
the
I'm
SAT.
kidding. I got
only took
1170.
1170. I only took the
But
ACT.
now it's all different. It's like totally different. It's like out of like 26.
No, they
or-
put it back. They put it back.
Oh,
to
they
the
did?
six- Yeah.
Oh.
So why did you laugh at New Rochelle? How bad? Why is it?
New Rochelle's a shithole. Well, actually, parts of it.
Yeah. So you meet your girl. You're
Yeah.
freshman.
She's
Well, I
older.
went to Iona because it's like nationally accredited for mass comm, like for television journalism, stuff like that, which I was like, my choice was either go there or like St. John's. And then I went to St. John's and it was like very... Jamaica. It's in a rough part of Jamaica. It's not very friendly in any capacity. So I decided I was like, I'm gonna go to where there's Irish schools and people, and a lot of fist bumping Guidos and shit. No, but I was working. I met her because I was doing like a work study thing, and I was working like the front door of her building. Like her dorm, just like you're just supposed to check IDs and stuff. And then my roommates came to give me beer in a big Dunkin' Donuts cup because they were heroes, And they were like talking to me, and she like came down out of the elevator, and my roommates all just started hitting on her like immediately, and I like didn't hit on her, which actually attracted her to me. And then she was actually on that walk. She was on the way to go like be getting a breakup with her boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
So she was like in like a not good place. Like she was like, kind of like in a weird place. And then she came back. As she walked back, I just was like, oh, sorry if they were like, like pigs and stuff like that. Cause my one roommate was like super, like he like stalked her on Facebook, and he knew, cause he's from like a small town and she's from a small, so it's like, oh, I know you from this. And she was like, I've never met you, but he's like, but I know you. And it's like, ooh. But then, so then we just started.
So you're a
hanging out.
rebound.
Yeah, and she was actually a rebound for me too, because this is a weird fucking thing, man. So the girl that I like met I was like in, this is early in freshman year. I was at the, that high school stage where it's like, once you have sex with somebody, you just date them forever, right?
Yeah.
So I had sex with this girl. We started like dating roughly or whatever. And then my current wife was getting back together with the guy she broke up with. So she went to his apartment on a drunk hookup and saw her having sex with his roommate. So to make that sounded confusing as it was coming out.
So she caught your girl cheating on you.
She caught my, at the time, current girlfriend cheating on me while she was going to like go back with her ex and have sex with as like a drunk, whatever, like getting back together kind of a thing.
Is this pre Dunkin' Donuts cup or
No,
post?
no,
this is post. So we were like talking at that point, like we're not like just like literally just talking, and then she like told me that I kind of found out it happened. She confirmed it and stuff like that. She's like, but she was so funny about it. She was like, yeah, I don't know. There was like, I don't know. Maybe she wasn't like. I just saw like her on top of him with like no shirt on. They were in his room.
His dick
in his
was
bed.
in her mouth, but her mouth wasn't like completely.
She was
open.
screaming, "I was having sex with you." Like
I hate Mike. I fucking hate Mike Fenney. She was. I don't know what it was though.
So it was like a perfect thing where we both were kind of like getting, and also her boyfriend had been cheating on her. She found out. So, and this is the craziest thing too. So this is like so many, all of like everyone that was hooking up was all connected. So she goes back to her freshman dorms because she's just like, I'm gonna hook up, I'm gonna go, when you go back to where you were the year before and you're like, oh, let's see who lives there now. Like I used to be in this room. So she goes back into this room and she's talking to these girls or whatever. And these girls are like sitting at the computer, and the girl's got like a screensaver on, and like the pictures change every like 2 seconds. And one of the pictures was with her and her boyfriend. And then she was like, why do you have my boyfriend's picture on your, and she was just like, no reason. And then it's also weird because then I ended up fingering that girl, and that girl ended up, it was a real weird, everyone's having sex with everybody. It was
like,
college,
how many
buddy.
students were there?
It seemed like 7,
12.
but there was there was like a weird, like everybody was connected in a 6 degrees of separation kind of a thing. So it was real bizarre. But then we just started kind of hitting it off,
It's crazy it lasted.
It really is, because of the fact that, like, I will say I knew it was definitely somebody, like, unlike anybody I'd ever met, because I remember saying, like, in my head to her, I was like, well, if I don't, like, get to date this girl or, like, hook up with her or anything like that, like, I'd be totally cool with, like, being just friends with this girl, which I'd never thought that before, ever, with any girl. And I was just like, because she was, like, super cool, we had a lot in common and stuff like that, which is probably why it worked out, I guess.
Yeah.
For 12 years.
For 12, so far, yeah.
Yeah, and soon.
Yeah.
But have you guys...
I've won a couple steak dinners when I started comedy. People were like, bro, I'm never going to last. If you're doing comedy and she's still with you in 2 years, I'll buy you a steak dinner. So I'm owed like multiple steak dinners from comedy.
So you're just in it for the steak?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Seeing how many steaks I can hold out
more,
for, Yeah.
That is true.
That's why I need to win more bets. You want to place another?
Did you ever think you were going to get married?
I guess I did, but I also... like obviously coming from divorce, like my dad got remarried and my mom got re-engaged, which I think is like, I actually kind of like that route. And because everyone asked her, she's like, when are you guys gonna get married? And they've been engaged for years. And she's like, why do I need to get married? She's like, I already got the ring. She's like, what else do I need? She's like, where's he going? And I was just like, yeah, that's a fucking, I feel like that's where it could end right there. Just a nice engagement. You know what I mean? But
depending how nice the ring is, I guess. But
it's true.
So she was the second girl you ever slept with, your wife?
No.
I thought you said you lost your virginity to that one girl.
No. I was just saying I had that mentality of like, you know, when you're in high school, you're like, we have to like date before we have sex, and then in college, people are just like, let's just have sex. You know?
What? So your parents got divorced. How old were you?
I think I was like 12. I believe that 12, 11, 12 in that area.
Was it ugly or?
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, they fought forever. Like my whole life growing up, they were always like a lot of memories of them just like screaming at one another and stuff like that. And
Just
like
in front of you guys?
yeah, I mean, I'm an only child, so yeah.
So it's all your fault.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I was told. But then you hear like those damaging things when you're just like like afterwards, when you're 13 and hate the world or whatever, and your parents have been divorced and you're trying to like make it work and go to different places and stuff, and you like do that little complaining thing, like my life's so tough and everything. My mom's like, oh please, I was gonna divorce him when you were 2, but I figured I'd just stick it out. And I was like, oh, that's not gonna fuck me up at all. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing you keep in here, and you don't necessarily.
We did you a favor by fighting every night. It's like,
yeah.
So it would probably have been good if you ended it, Mom.
Well, and exactly,
And
it's
at
like
2, you wouldn't have remembered it.
they just became very different people. Is what happened. And like what's funny is like now they're super close. Like it's almost like it's complicated situation where it seems like they might get back together. But they're
whoa,
yeah,
that's crazy.
And it's not that won't happen. But they get along better together now than I ever remember in my life.
And how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's cool now because they're just, it's like half, when you live off of like reminiscing like off the good times, it always, I guess, seems better. But yeah, they used to fight all the time. And my dad was like working 2 jobs, like 70 hours a week, and was just like always stressed trying to, get a master's while like raising me and stuff. My mom was like the opposite. My mom was like, she had a kid, I think I was like 27. I think she was 27 when she had me or something. So she was still like, I want to be young. I want to go out. So I was going with her to bars and when I was in elementary school, like on like Irish like dive biker bars. I would be there and they would put me in like the arcade shooting basketball thing. They would just put me on the other side of the cage, like inside where the basketballs are, and I'd just be shooting free throws for like hours. Like it was just, or I'd go up to I went up to some biker. Apparently I have no memory of this. I was like 5 or something. I went up to like some guy who was like the big fucking tough guy in the bar, and I just was like, excuse me sir, like you got some like spaghetti on your shirt. And then he looked down and I just flicked him right in the nose, and everyone was like and then he laughed, and
it was
then
like a Hell's Angels.
Yeah. It was like whatever they are, the branch of it in Long Island, it was 100% a biker gang.
So your parents are fighting mostly. Your dad's stressed, and is it like physical or is it just?
No, he never like hit her. There was always like that like arguing 1 inch from each other's face kind of a thing, but he never.
And what are you doing when they're fighting? Are you just you're in your room watching like Boy Meets World or something?
Ironically, for Mr. Feeney, I didn't like that show. But I was I don't know. I would either be in the middle of it, I would be walking away. I'd be like in my room or whatever. I'd call my grandparents a lot to always try and be
it's hard. It's just
fix
you.
it. Yeah, that's why. And it's like I don't know how to. You can't fix it, and you're like you don't even know what the problems were. Well, my grandmother was just a good like. Everybody just calm down. Like she was kind of like the mediator, so I'd just like call her and be like, they're fighting here, and just like throw a grenade of a phone into a conversation and hope. But then it's always like, it was my mom's mother, so it was always like, like my dad would be like, you're not taking my side, that whole thing. So it's just crazy. It just seemed.
Did you have like friends over?
I would always, I guess I would go over, like, there were a lot of kids on my block, so I would hang out with my friends a lot. But when I was that young, it was just like, you didn't really, unless you were having a sleepover, you kind of just were always home or whatever. But yeah, they just became super incompatible. Like was
it boozing a lot or no?
Yeah, my mom was like, she never had like a issue, I guess, with it or anything like that, but she definitely wanted
other than putting you into a basketball cage.
yeah. I was at bars all the time, like constantly, always
but my
at
mom
bars.
was fine. She was cool.
No, yeah. We'd come home. She'd be like, all right, like we're just gonna. It was like a school. It'd be like which would cause more fights, obviously, because my mom would come home with me, and it'd be like 10 at night on a school night, and my dad would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then my mom would be like, "Let me live," you know. It was
Wow,
just like,
it was kind of the opposite role. Usually you hear the guy wants to just like go out and never be around the family, but your mom was like, "I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna fucking get hammered,
Freedom!
Yeah.
smoke some Slims."
I guess my dad used to be a lot more like carefree or whatever, but I guess with like the kid and then a job, he was just like, we have to like be adults.
What did your dad
now.
do?
I feel like somebody has to take that role. Someone has to
someone's gotta be the
like,
bad
I
guy.
have to be. And he probably felt burdened by that also because he probably wanted to have fun. And she was just taking all the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was always like like growing up, I always saw him as like the bad cop, you know what I mean? Versus like my mom, who was the good one and stuff. But I think it was just someone, like you said, someone has to take that role. Like,
Yeah,
What
it
did your dad
sucks.
do?
Oh, so he started going. He worked at like UPS so that he could like pay for. They would pay for his masters and stuff, and then he was doing something else at the same time. And then he kept like getting promoted there while he was working, while he was getting his masters in like business or whatever. And then he got to be like a super big deal at UPS. And then him and his friends were like, we're gonna start our own business and we're gonna like quit. And then they quit their jobs, and then like immediately after that, like the people that worked in that like region that he was like all got like crazy promotions and made like sick money. And then his partner got like cold feet and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so like then my dad was just like out of a job, out of a career. And my dad, that was like the worst. That was like his like midlife crisis, I guess, where he
Yeah.
was just kind of like almost like fuck. I felt like there was a couple times where he was like catatonic. Like, he was just
How
like
old
in
were
like
you at this time?
I don't know. I guess maybe like 8 or 9. It was
so
it
this
was
is
still
right before the pre-divorce.
Yeah, it was definitely like the final straw of the thing where they were like they were in a
They
bad
were under
place.
a lot of like stress.
Well, yeah, and then it's just like, it's like there's so much blame going around. Like, what were you thinking? Why would you do this? And then all this kind of stuff. And then, and then my dad ended up like completely pivoting, and he's like, I'm gonna just try and take like the Series 7 and become a stockbroker. And then he's been that for like ever since then, and he does well at that now. But
What?
crazy.
When your parents got divorced, who got custody?
Mom, so I got weekends with the pops, which I had to go to travel.
Did you still go to the bar?
No, well, because she had the weekends free now, so she didn't.
so
But I still go to that bar. I went back to that bar. It's still It's still around in Long Island, Port Jeff. God, what the hell's the name of it? It's an Irish name. I wanted to say like Napper Tendies, but it's not that bar. It's whatever the name of it is. It was just like it was the exact same bar where it's like $5 for a 1 pound lobster. It's like it was like beers where you like buy 2 and you scratch off, and the next one's 30 cents. It's
Yeah.
just like day drinkers, and it looks like a double wide trailer they converted into a bar and stuff, and it's felt real good to drink in there. It was very like
Well, you were outside the cage finally.
yeah, they finally I was like, boy, this place really opens up when you're not in a one by one
We
space.
used to have women come in with their kids to the bar that I bartended at, and they would just set the kids at the bar, and I was like, yeah, you can't do that. And they'd immediately go, you don't judge my parenting. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just illegal for you to.
Also, the bar's kind of high. Like he couldn't fall.
Do you know
Like,
that my mom, one time, my mom and dad, they were both there. It was like, my dad used to go there too and stuff, but they left my stroller there. Like when they were like bringing me home, and they were just like, they called her like, did you leave a stroller here?
Yeah. What when your parents got divorced, like were they bad mouthing each other throughout that, or like did that subside into your teens? Or
Yes, I mean they were on really bad terms. Like it was more like tell him than tell
Yeah.
her. Like they wouldn't talk to one, and anytime they talked, it was just yelling. But I mean that's what I grew up with, so it was like very
I mean, this is all very surface. Basically, how did their divorce affect you? Do you feel?
I don't know. I mean that's a therapist question. I feel like I gotta
Yeah.
unpack all that.
Oh, you
shit.
never been to therapy?
Never went. I never went once. I'm not actually against it. It seems like a whole.
It's a very anti-Irish thing.
Yeah, the therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
it's-
drink and throw your kid in a cage.
yeah. We'll figure it out on our own. God damn it, Jesus Christ. Or we'll suppress it. There's something about that opens up a whole Pandora's box. You know what I mean? It's a scary thing. I don't know. I guess that with the only child syndrome is it's a shitty thing because you don't have anybody like you said there with you. You're like alone. So that
Are you like vulnerable with your wife about these things?
in terms of what?
In terms of how you feel about what happened with the screaming, with the
Well, yeah. Well,
Do you
because
hate your wife?
she actually comes from like almost the exact same family, except her parents didn't get divorced. So they're like old school, like Italian, like mom's like, it's too late for me, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, no like actual physical violence, but just like they're definitely not necessarily happy, but it's just like, well, what are we gonna do? It's like, well, anything else? Like
Yeah, my
Yeah.
parents are Irish Catholic. They're together, and they should definitely not be. You're
Right.
like, what? Just go on about your lives somewhere, like in a separate home. That'd be great.
It's one of those things too, where like some people you can't like, like my grandparents. The only reason I think this is the only thing. This is the only reason I probably actually got married was because I was kind of anti-marriage, but my grandparents are like they were the perfect image of what a married couple is. Like they met in like Queens as like kids before the war. He went away to war. It's like they got engaged before they came back. Like she like fashioned his parachute into a wedding dress. They were married 67 years. They were like super happy and like always like super loving. And they were like the only people that I ever looked up to as being like, oh, like you guys are genuinely happy people. Like until the day they died, they were just nothing but love for one another and stuff like that. So that was if I didn't have those people in my life, there's no shot I would have ever been married.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, my family, we were just in Florida, and so when my parents divorced, I had no family. Like, we were the Florida family, and my dad was his family was in New York. They were in Chicago. My mom's Chicago. So we didn't have any other family to look at other than, like, friends.
Right.
So I don't know, it's interesting that you were close-knit, and that helped you. Your grandparents, where were the other grandparents? Were they there?
Yeah, everyone at the time lived in Long Island, like both sides of the family, and then slowly all my mom's family like moved down to Florida, like one by one, and now they are all down there. Like it was my mom. Like the second I graduated high school, it was like the house I grew up in. My mom's like, when you go away to college, like I'm gonna sell the house, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like I didn't think like it could like happen that fast, and like the day after I went away to college, it was like a for sale sign in the lawn. Like it was gone. It was gone by that December. She was already in Florida, so it was crazy.
Oh, your mom is now in Florida.
Yeah, she's been there since I like didn't even have a home to cut. Yeah, it was so weird. So I just went, and then my dad was living in Manhattan, so there was really no.
So that's why they're close now.
Yeah, because they're well, and actually he just moved to Florida too. So he lived here for like 15 years and then just moved down to Florida. So it's
How far away from your mom?
he moved to the West Coast, but it's like 3 hours. But that's another thing too. That's why people are like, oh shit, look at that. Yeah. At my wedding, they were like super getting along, and they were both like shit faced, and they're doing that thing where like, look at our kid, look what we created. It turned out pretty good, huh? And then like I had friends like Mike Cannon and stuff was like he was like egging them on. Where he's like, let's do a shot together. He's like, you guys got a great kid. He's like trying to purposely get them back together to like He's like,
But they're both remarried and re-engaged, right?
Yeah.
So that's
but it's funny because they're both remarried and
their
engaged.
significant others feel about that?
Yeah, where are they?
Well, I don't think that it's a thing where they're like, it just seems, you get a feeling when you're around them that they're very happy. But they also remarried the most opposite people from one another. Like my dad now is with like an older woman who's like very like slow and relaxed and is like kind of like an artist, just likes to like read books and stuff like that. And then my mom's like fiance is like a like labor, like makes things with his hands, like he can like fix anything, like he's very like like blue collar kind of a guy and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean he's very good. He's very like strong and good
I
at
love a good beef.
Yeah, you can pick her up and eat her out, right?
Yeah, all right, well,
okay, come on.
I'm gonna just get out of here.
Okay,
He actually can. He's got a bad back. But,
Why do you think it's bad?
God damn it.
Oh God.
What? So I mean, that's great though for your like. If you have kids, it's gonna be nice if their grandparents are actually getting along. I mean, that's huge. I
Yeah. For now, but then that's the thing too, where it's like you got all these separate families, and you got to try and prioritize like where do they go, like which family do they see? It's just. It's a lot, but yeah, they definitely get along now better than they like literally ever have in my life, I guess, since before me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a weird thing around the holidays when like my mom always asks for Christmas Eve, and then my sister has to go to. I don't do shit with any of my family, but my sister does.
Yeah.
So she's like tells me the schedule. I'm like, that sounds exhausting. I'd rather just
Everything's scheduled, and it
Everything's scheduled.
ruins like my dad. Yeah, my parents being like my dad will be like, from 11 to 2, you're gonna come over to Sue's, and we're gonna eat here, and and then from 4 to 7, it's like. You ruined the you know what I mean? And then the whole time you're at the one, you're like, I got to get to the other one.
Yeah, you
as
can't like
opposed to,
fully enjoy.
Yeah.
I have
Andrew
to.
and I we wear matching onesies and we Skype everyone. And
Yeah.
then
There you
that's it.
By everyone, just Ryan Beck's
Ryan
grandpa,
Beck.
who I think died. So
Well, we're still gonna Skype him.
yeah, we're Skyping more.
I used to like every other Christmas I go down to Florida. So, but like this one I'm in New York. But now for some reason everybody in my mom's side of the family is coming up to New York for Christmas, which actually makes it more complicated. So like Christmas Eve, we're gonna go to Connecticut with the wife for like her family, like Italian, to do the Christmas Eve thing, and then Christmas Day go to my dad's side, and then Christmas night go out to my.
You
It's
already
like
know
it's just
all of this
it's like 4
information.
Christmases, yeah, because they just like literally on the way here, my mom's calling me and she's like, so when should I stay until? Should I stay until like the 28th and we can go look at the tree? And I was just like, I don't know. I don't even know. When did they take down the tree?
Yeah.
I don't know.
New Year's? Or is it the day after Christmas they just fucking let that thing drop onto
They
the
burn
ice
it.
rink? Yeah.
I think that's why Hanukkah's 8 days, right? So we could like
You know.
divide it easier. So
Yeah.
it's like, whatever. By the 8th day, no one wants to see each other anyways. It's pretty chill, actually.
My sister was asking me if I was going to come home for Christmas, and I already told her because I asked her. I was like, "Do you want me to visit you for 2 days in August?" And she goes, "Well, what about Christmas?" I was like, "I offered 2 days in August."
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's way better then because there's
Final
no
offer 3 days in August.
well,
and
there's
that's-
no pressure then. It's like you just come for a week, like a normal
But
weekend.
she said no. She said,
Oh, that it has to be Christmas?
Yeah, it has to be because she had a soccer game or something, soccer matches, and I was like, "I go to the soccer matches," and
Yeah,
she's like,
that's-
"Nope, too busy." I was like, "Cool, see you
Yeah.
next year."
Ugh.
Maybe she's trying to set you up to see your mom on Christmas.
I think she is.
That
Yeah,
son of a
my mom
bitch.
is a horrible human being.
I'm
She's
so
a-
happy. And you have siblings though? And like how many?
I have an
how
older
many-
sister and a younger brother. I only talk to my older sister.
See, that's why I'm so, because my wife's actually an only child too. And so we always talk about like that, like grass is greener. Like, oh man, how cool would it be to like grow up with somebody, like have somebody there, have always like a person you could innately trust and stuff like that. But then, yeah, when it's bad, if it's like you don't talk to one of your siblings, or if like one of the parents is like, well, he comes to visit us and there's like that whole like, how come you're not doing this? He's
Yeah.
a lawyer or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, I think I might have dodged a bullet on that one.
But in a way, you're not competing against anyone, but you are competing against yourself because it's just you, and so they're all relying on you being successful.
Sure. Well, I don't
No
think
pressure.
they're relying on
Not
me for
relying, not relying, but
more like they're
They're
gonna
just
be
hoping for the best.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, yeah, you're a fucking loser.
They're like, you
but-
did get a degree though. You do have one? Okay. Just wanna
Didn't you get surgery as a kid? Is that true? That you got
yeah, I got so I was actually I had like a bunch of like different health issues where like little things like appendicitis and stuff like that, but then I was like actually born with like my chest was like sunken in.
like a bird chest. No,
Wait,
they
did you
call
fix-
it.
No, birds
did you
are
fix that?
Oh, birds
pigeon-chested.
out?
Yeah,
Oh.
birds like a pigeon chest.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like a ping pong pole with a dent in it. That's pretty much
Okay.
what they did. But then so then they like when I was like 15, they make a couple slits in you, and then they put in a stainless steel bar that's shaped like a U, and then they just like they slide it in, and then they like pivot it, and then it pops out your chest. But then you have to keep the bar in your chest for 3 years, and then after 3 years, I go back and then just slide it
So
out.
the bar's out now?
Bars out. But it was crazy because that's why that's why I didn't really do football. I couldn't really do like contact sports in high school. Not that I could have anyway. Like I was always this side. I would have been murdered.
Yeah.
But there was, it would have been real bad. But no, so I couldn't do any like contact sports or anything like that in those years.
So you had like a caved in chest your whole life until you were 15?
yeah, and then
So
when I
at
was
the pool, what would you do?
So that's a funny thing too, because I didn't realize like it, also weirdly enough, my best friend from kindergarten through probably like 7th grade or something, the kid that lived on my block literally my best friend just so happened to also have the exact same thing as me. So it
Just
was
so
like,
happened they put you in a room. They put you in that cage together.
that's what it was. He passed the basketball too hard. I was like,
you guys were
just
hitting each
doink.
other
Yeah.
too hard.
But no, it was he had the same thing. So it was like a funny, like it was like, when you're around the, when you're a kid, you don't realize it's, it's like I'd be like put popcorn, just sit there, whatever. But then once you go to like, I remember
My sister's husband has that and never fixed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we think it's hilarious.
yeah, but when I was a kid, it's a really that like made me definitely like like I remember being at like a public pool, and I would always like I would convince myself that I was cold, but I would always like obviously just be like I'd be like this and then my mom would always be like put your hands down like because she always knew that I was trying to like cover it up, but in my head I'm like no, I'm cold, but I'm like I definitely was not cold.
Yeah.
My mom was always like, cover up. You were disgusting.
My brothers were like, oh, look here. I don't know where you're from, though. They don't even have bikinis, right? They just put, what do you wear? Like,
Where are you from?
I'm from northern Michigan. Yeah. No, my sister was on the professional water ski team. Yeah, she was like,
Is that a thing?
Professional one?
Yeah.
yeah, she was. She was for Mastercraft.
for Mastercraft.
We had the buoys that came up because on the island we had the remote for the buoys on the island, and
Yeah.
the buoys would come up and she would slalom around. It was really cool. But I was 4 foot, so I was.
You weren't a
like,
good skier?
My sister was 5'9", and I was 4 foot 10.
5'9" is tall.
Yeah, she's tall, and so she wore bikinis, and I wore t-shirts. So
Yeah.
my mom was like, "You're very fat." I'm like, "I'm also 10." So
Oh, that must fuck you up though when
Yeah.
you're a kid. Being like I was always.
She's a kid now.
Yeah. Fucked you up when you were a kid. That spawned a series of events. But
oh yeah,
no.
my sister's anorexic, like
Yeah.
full on.
And I make my nipples hard whenever
Yeah.
I take my shirt. I don't like my nipples. So,
Well,
because I got, they're a little puffy, and my brothers, every time I would take off my shirt, they'd be like, oh, you got puffy fucking nipple. Look at your fucking pepperonis. And I'd be like,
oh, you
"Fuck."
got big nips?
Yeah, but they're not even that big. My mom's are big.
I was
said-
just saying
go
that
ahead.
yesterday. I never got self-conscious about my nipples. I think I
Well,
probably
you
have
were so
smaller
worried about your
nipples.
chest.
Yeah. It was in between the nipples. It really was what was so it was terrifying.
I sent my first non-fluffed
Wow.
naked pic today.
Really?
Yeah,
How'd
I
that
was
feel?
like, I'm just gonna send it like
With
this.
all the bruising and the red?
Yeah, I didn't. I just went here.
What?
Oh, just your face. Oh.
Just here. Yeah.
No, wait, you really sent who you sent a naked to?
I'm gonna give you his social and his address. I'm not gonna tell you who I sent it to. I got shit going on.
Oh, God damn.
She's sending naked pictures.
I guess so.
Yeah, why not? I gotta
never
keep
seen-
things interesting.
Non-fluff, huh?
Non-fluffed nipples.
By non-fluff, you just didn't make your nipples hard.
Yeah, normally I like throw a little ice cube on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never even think to look at that in a like a nude
Fluff
pic.
verse non-fluff?
you would-
Yeah,
Really? No,
for
you
nipples.
would.
You
Would
would notice
you? Yeah.
if you'd see like if it's warm, it's like a nut that just gets like a little.
Depends on the
loose.
kind of nipple you have too, because it was like I remember like I dated girls that had like those like super like those like
Oh
orangutan
my god! I
nipples.
saw
things.
one of those for the first time.
Those are real horrifying. I gotta tell you, they are some of the weirdest. It's like sucking on a pinky. It's like a little kid pinky.
There's women in the locker room where I work that just sit in front of the mirror, just naked, Indian style with those things.
Just baby carrots
Just-
coming off the bottom of their
just
fucking.
doing their hair. I'm like, cover up! I don't want to look at that.
I don't know. I bet it's a funny thing to be self-conscious about nipples, but they're so. I mean, Andrew's. I could see you with big puffy nips.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I don't know. They're not big.
they're not that big at all.
No, they're not that bad.
No. My buddy, we always used to call him pepperoni nipples, and he really, really hated
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, look.
All right, Andrew.
I used to say if my nipples. I used to say no, but why? Why are you uncomfortable?
I think that's
You know what? They're not big, but they are like puffy.
yeah.
Yeah. What
they're
is
also
it?
awkwardly red. Like, look at the coloring.
like a
of them,
baboon.
You
right?
suck your own tits.
Look,
Yeah.
it's like
Am I close? I don't feel like I'm
no,
close.
you're not even a little bit close.
I can
Can you get to your
I
own
can get the
nips?
hair.
No.
Let's see your concave chest. Do you have a scar?
Oh yeah, I got scars.
Oh, sick.
Little ones.
Oh, yeah, you have good nips.
Oh, you got good.
Yeah, perfect
Wow, you have
nips.
no
You have
hair
model
on your
nips.
body.
I'm hairless, baby.
You should be an Abercrombie model.
You're very muscular.
Yeah, what
Thanks,
are you doing?
man. I don't know. You know what? I'm
Very nice.
I'm happy that I got.
You look like
We
a
objectify
dolphin.
every guest.
Yeah, we really do.
I like this. This is doing wonders.
You are a stunning man.
Yeah, but he's good looking, like a little bitch kind of way.
No, he's great looking.
Yeah, he is
and
good
he's
looking.
tall.
I know, but he
those
looks young
eyes.
forever. I mean,
That's great.
I can't grow facial. I wish I could have that
No,
nightmare
look
you
at
have
that.
on
No,
your
you
face.
don't. No, you don't. Look at the thing.
I just would like a nice little connector.
you got nice baby blues. You got a very
They're hazel,
all-American
thank you
look.
very
You
Mine
have
are
beautiful
hazel.
eyes.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm a very underneath the eyebrows. There's some good green
You
under
got that
there.
athletic. You got that like Southern boy. Like you're like very like top. You could push over a cow. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, and then fuck it. Yeah.
That's all you.
That's
pick
how
for.
Marshall met his wife. All right,
That's all you
hey,
can fuck.
hey, yo.
It's a fucking cow.
Right. Look at your
After
stomach,
you suck a
dude.
tit.
Look at you.
All right. On that note, we
On that
gotta
note,
wrap
this
it
is
up.
this is it. All right, Mike, where can we find
Yes,
you?
Mike.
Oh, sure. MikeFeeneyComedy.com. Any social media at I am Mike Feeney. And then, check out my podcast. It would be great.
And how do you spell
Goodbye
Feeney?
Podcast. Feeney.
Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about? What we did talk about at the beginning. Have you ever used a bidet?
I have. And actually, not only that.
What's
first
wrong
off,
with you?
First off, the studio.
with you?
First off, the studio Gas Digital where we record Irish Goodbye has one of those like toilet seats that like it's like kind of part bidet. You know what I mean?
That's
like it
ours.
shoots
That's our
the-
sponsor.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
Tushy.
It's real. Yeah, it's real. It's real weird. I'm not actually a huge fan. Water goes everywhere. I don't think the nozzle's not pointed in the
I
right
think
direction.
you just don't have a big enough butt to cover the
Maybe
seat.
that's it. I do have
Yeah.
a very bony ass, but I love it. I love it, and
you're-
you'll love
you're
it too.
Funny. You
Yeah.
think the water goes? You get out of here. Get out of
It's
town.
perfect. But no, it's. I did it in Hawaii. Was the best. I was like, they had warm. You know, it was like, does it do the warm water too
Yes,
and everything?
you can
Yeah,
do
that
warm
was that was quite lovely. It's kind of a game changer.
I did it in lieu of showering this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it was a.
That and baby wipes have really been a game changer.
Just really have. What is the promo code? Or
If
how
you
do
go
they...
to hellotushy.me, and if our promo code is
Happy
happy butthole. Also, you could get sheets at Brooklinen.
Yes, Brooklinen. Just
Oh,
use,
that's good.
I
Those
guess-
Yeah.
are soft.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Those
you
are-
have them?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
come
they're
in
so
this sick
soft. It's
bag.
crazy.
They come in a little bag, and they have like a little keychain with it. It's very cool. I'm like, oh,
And
this
if you go to
such
what,
good marketing.
brooklinen.com?
Brooklinen, Happy Never After. Use our promo code, and then they'll hook it up.
It's so nice. You get a nice wash on your asshole, and then you lay in beautiful
Shits and sheets.
Yeah.
Shits and sheets.
Sheets and shits and sheets.
I feel like you guys wanted me to get a divorce at the end of this podcast. There's a lot of there's a
really
lot of
wanted you to.
yeah. There's a lot of not
Come over.
happy people.
Who's not happy?
It's everyone, I think, but I'm glad. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I don't know. Are we happy? Are we having a good time?
Yeah, this was
What's
fun.
wrong with us?
Yeah.
Was it bad? Okay, on that note, don't go to MikeFeeney.com. He's a fucking piece of shit. But go to Andrew T. Collin on Instagram and Twitter. Sorry you didn't make us laugh, Mike.
You can also check us out at Happy Never After Podcast on Instagram, H&A Pod on Twitter. I will tag Mike Feeney, unfortunately. And you can follow me directly at Mara Merrick. Thanks, you guys.
Mike is great, actually.
Yes, we love
Sorry
him.
about that. That was
All
really-
right, he's
that was
very
great.
stunning.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a beautiful
Good looking
man.
man.
Okay, bye.